According to several sites, the average U.S. adult checks on their cell phones up to 150 times a day. Some mental health professionals describe this cell phone usage as an addiction. See for yourselves. Check your daily screen time. It's easy to do. I was going to share you my cell phone use, but honestly, I was kind of embarrassed how much it was. It's actually more than I'm supposed to sleep at night. And I have some excuses. You know, I use it for directions and travel, and I need to respond to important emails and texts. Check out news alerts or notifications of sites I follow, and maybe I'm slightly addicted to it. This survey also says that about every 10 minutes, many people need to check their phones to draw from its source of power over us. Any of you who have been on a retreat, maybe in high school or college or as an adult, usually one of the first things they do is they pass around a box and say, everyone put their cell phones in there so you won't be distracted. Well, some people don't like doing that for a night or for a weekend or even a week. And that could affect how popular these retreats are. Any of you, in my old career, by the way, there were certain times when we weren't allowed to enter into a meeting with any kind of electronics, whether it's a laptop. I'm sorry. It's a text. I got to check real quick. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, when we're in these meetings, we can't have any kind of electronic devices. It didn't matter if it was a phone, a laptop, a watch, and I'll date myself, but before phones, y'all, we used to, you might remember, carried little pagers, and when it beeped, you had to actually call an operator to get your message. But inside these classified meetings, we couldn't have anything. But as soon as we got out, we ran right to our phones to catch up on the world. Have you ever left your phone somewhere? You know, that panicky feeling that you get. Well, Jesus is teaching us that that feeling is what we should get when we are no longer connected to God, who is the real source of power. In John's gospel today, Jesus uses a metaphor to teach us God is something that we can't do without in our lives. In the land where Jesus was preaching, people would understand his use of the concept of grapevines and branches. In this gospel, Jesus tells us a branch cannot bear fruit on its own unless it remains on the vine. So neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in Jesus. He is the vine, we are the branches. The vine and the branches are one. There is no branch without a vine. And whoever remains in him will bear much fruit. But without him, we're told that you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in him will be thrown out like a branch that has been cut off, withered, and thrown into a fire. So instead of being so concerned about what's appearing on Instagram or TikTok or X or any other social media or how many likes and hearts we get, that was an ingenious emoji, which is very addictive in case you're not aware of that. But why are we so reliant on social media instead of God? Maybe this gospel reading will challenge us when we check our phones to ask ourselves, have I checked in with God today? Is the nourishment we can get from Jesus more or less nourishing than what we can get checking in with our social media apps? Sorry, there goes my phone again. Turn that off. The fruit of the vine is not used by the vine, but is to be given to others. If we are not connected to the vine, we will not bear fruit, and we won't provide anything nourishing to the world. Then we will be cut off and been told that we'd be gathered up and thrown into a fire. Not really much room there for interpretation, is there? Maybe we can use our constant checking of our phones to remind us to say a quick prayer or maybe put a prayer app on our home screen. The apps I really enjoy are the Hallow prayer app and the video of the Gospels, The Chosen. Amazing. If you haven't done it, it's free. It's really incredible. We need to realize Jesus is talking about life and death here. Isn't that more important than getting a thumbs up or a like from a total stranger? Maybe today we can find a way to be more dependent on Jesus and less dependent on addictive technology. After this Mass, see how long it takes you for you to check your phone. And when you do check it, how about setting a reminder in it to check with God?